Until a few decades ago in India, if a lower caste person, an untouchable, by mistake overheard a Hindu prayer from a temple, melted glass was poured down their ears as punishment. This is the Hindu caste system, and this video is a part of our ongoing series 50 Stories That Shaped India, where in each week's video we're looking at one aspect of Indian history which shapes India as we know it today. For other stories in this series, click subscribe and the bell icon. Now let's start. Hinduism is really old. It is the oldest religion in the world. It has no one guiding book like the Bible or the Quran. Instead, it has a huge library of texts, which in all honesty, no one, not even most Hindus, have actually ever read. That's why no one actually, for sure, knows the reasons why the Hindu caste system originated. That's why in this video, we'll first look at the caste structure itself, and then second, we are exploring the reasons of why it started. So there are three main theories as per my research, and we'll look into each of them. So first, let's look at the history, what the caste structure is really like. There are four major castes: Brahmins at the top, then Kshatriyas the warriors, then Vaishyas the traders, and then Shudras the manual laborers. And within these, there are hundreds of subcastes. And then there were untouchables, the lowest of the low. This inhumane categorization of people was based on nothing else but birth. Anyone born into a caste had to stay, marry, work within it, no matter what. Professions were set for each caste, and you had to do only what your caste was allowed to do. You could never get out of your caste. You could never upgrade it, no matter how good, smart, kind you were. This did make people unhappy even back then. The Hindu caste system has actually received a lot of criticism throughout centuries. For example, Acharya Haribhadra Suri in the 6th century wrote a satire on Hinduism. It was called Dhurtakhyana. So where does this system come from? Why did it start? Let's go deeper to the root and understand the logic behind it, if there is one. First theory of why the caste system came about is the distribution of power. See, in any society there are four sources of power: land, knowledge, armies, and money. And the Hindu caste system sought to avoid concentration of all these four into one hands. Hence it divided these four amongst people, resulting in four main castes. Land went to Shudras, knowledge, Brahmins, money to the Vaishyas, and army, military power, to Kshatriyas. I find this debatable because Shudras did not normally actually control or owned the lands. They just worked on them for pennies. And untouchables are nowhere in this. Second theory is based on responsibilities. The idea is the one who takes most responsibility for the society gets the highest position. So for example, Brahmins with their access to knowledge and wisdom take responsibility of not just themselves, but of the salvation of the whole society. Hence they deserve to be at the highest position. Then Kshatriyas, because they protect the country, protect everyone else in the face of external danger, and therefore they deserve the second highest place. Vaishyas do not take so much responsibility for the well-being of society. By running the commerce, they maintain prosperity and economic channels, but mainly and mostly for themselves. So they take the third place. And finally, Shudras, by raising crops, selling the produce and consuming it, take care only of themselves. Hence they take the lowest place. Again, I don't find this reasonable because Shudras feed everyone. So they too help the society survive with what I believe is one of the most important things: food. And where are the untouchables again? Over here. The third theory behind the Hindu caste system is actually about the preservation of genetic lineages in their pure forms. Every human has X and Y chromosomes in them. Females have XX, whereas males have XY. So it is one tiny little Y chromosome that makes a male. And men get this Y chromosome only from their father because females carry no Y chromosome in their bodies. Thus, the Y chromosome is carried purely from fathers to sons through generations. So this helps establish clear genetic lineages all the way back to the root ancestor. Chromosomes in a woman's body, the X chromosome, can cross over. They can come from father or mother or father's mother or mother's father, but this is not the case with Y chromosome. It simply gets transferred from father to son, undisturbed, uncrossovered. Since in old times they didn't have today's neat DNA technology, our ancestors came up with their cool way of preserving it. This is also why having a son was so important, because sons carry the gene line. This is also why women historically changed their surnames after marriage, because they now would help bring forth the next generation of the family of her husband. So there's that. 3 theories of the possible reasons behind the Hindu caste system. I don't know how logical you find them, let me know, comment below. But we haven't done my favorite part yet, understanding the history. And here's the real deal, guys. There was no caste system in the Rigvedic period. You could basically do whatever you wanted, marry whomever you wanted. So in today's society, if you choose to become a dog breeder because you're good at it, you're following the Rigvedic system. But with time, society became more complicated and prayer and sacrificial rituals became more elaborate. So while the Rig Veda starts off simply and worships nature, by the time we reach the Atharva Veda, we have superstitious elements like chants to make someone fall in love, or magic to ward off evil, or chants to cure snake bites and blah blah. And with this, we see the role of priests becoming more powerful because nothing works like fear, right? With this started possessiveness of certain lucrative roles. And by the time of Upanishads, which were written later, we see non-priests question the authority of priests, the Brahmins. So Upanishads are pretty rational. And then came the Puranas, and this is when things degraded. While they do set in motion useful concepts like yoga and taxation, Puranas also bring a huge pantheon of gods and firmly establish the caste system. But even the Bhagavad Gita does not banish crossover of castes. You can do whatever job you want. But then came the Manusmriti in as late as the 5th century BC, and that really messed things up through a rigid caste system. And since then it's been, well, sheeple will be sheeple. For more videos and 50 stories that shaped India series, please click subscribe and like and comment below. And yeah, click the bell icon too.